My girlfriend was kinda mad at me because I cheated on her in her dream. I, 23M, brought my girlfriend, 21F, a piece of cake because I knew she was having a busy/rough week, and she said that she was less mad at me. I was confused because everything between us is great, and then she told me that she had a dream where I hooked up with some hot Russian blonde girl who was prettier than she was. NGL, thought it was ridiculous, and my girlfriend is going to move out of the country permanently in a few months, so we're just enjoying the time we have left together. My wife only has dreams about me dying. In her defense, she usually seems pretty upset about it when she wakes up. Nelly said it best, "It was only just a dream." Dreams are definitely interesting things. For a lot of us, you feel the full emotions of what is happening in the dreams, then wake up knowing you were just dreaming, yet the emotions stay. For some it is hard to get rid of those emotions quickly, and they can affect the remainder of the day, especially if this is the first time she's dreamed about it. My wife was similar. In the dream I'd leave her or cheat on her, and she'd have a hard time letting go of the emotions that invoked when she woke up. Now we just joke about it. I thought it was kinda wacky until I dreamed something similar. It's one of the few dreams I can remember years later vividly. It sucked and made me feel horrible after I woke up, but since she had dreams like it previously, I was able to parse it a bit better than I would have had we already not gone through similar things with her. I think it is just about having experience to deal with it, and since you guys are young, it just hasn't happened very often. Just don't dismiss her feelings, and reassure her that the person in her dream was not you. Show her some love and she'll get over it. You shouldn't have cheated on her in the dream. Skeptical. Men in dreams are only after one thing. First time. My wife has these dreams every now and then and gets upset. So far I have cheated on her several times and also had a baby with her cousin. The last time I was apparently staring at someone's ass. She gets over it in a couple of hours. A friend of mine got the silent treatment from one of his friends for a few weeks because she had a dream where he killed the giant bee she rode around on. Dreams can have a really weird effect on our emotions. They aren't real, but they can feel so real. Also, I want a giant bee. My 19F boyfriend, 24M, said my suicide attempt turned him on. I tried to kill myself 3 days ago. I'm always trying to kill myself and I always fail, so I just don't think I try hard enough. Today my boyfriend tried to make me go unconscious during sex. We get really kinky, and while he was choking me he said that I'm dead, I killed myself, and he's fucking my corpse. He continued with the dirty talk, saying he'd never been so turned on than when he found me like that. He didn't even take me to the hospital at the time. He barely did anything. I'm 19, I didn't graduate high school, I have BPD, CPTSD, schizoaffective disorder, and depression. I lost my virginity at 12 if you don't count abuse, and my dad is disgusting pervert, and my mom started over her life with her new husband, and I'm just somebody from her past. I realize how messed up my life is. It was like an epiphany, but I have no idea what to do. I don't want to sell my body again, but I have no idea how I'll be able to function without him. I'm a stereotype. I'm what an incel says a woman is. I want to turn my life around. Please, if anybody has any advice, I'm so lost. Not to freak you out, but Ted Bundy said the same things to his wife. I'm so sorry for what you're going through. Please leave this relationship and check yourself into a hospital or clinic. This is way above Reddy's pay grade. You need to seek professional help ASAP. Call 911, or the equivalent in your country. Tell them you are suicidal, and that you'd like an ambulance to bring you to the ER so that you can be safe. Tell them your boyfriend is dangerous so you can't tell him, and you don't have anyone else to ask. You can typically stay in a hospital even if you can't afford it, and they will find you somewhere to stay until you aren't suicidal. Anything that might help is better than anything that won't help, and what won't help is staying where you are now, with who you're with now. If you're willing to die, what does it hurt to go? If you're better after, you can work at paying off the debt. If you're not, you can go back or continue on. Going will give you that option, and it sounds like if you're staying, there's not really any options for you, right? I've been you. With the diagnoses you have, with the traumas, I've been in scary situations with men and boyfriends. I know. And I know that it can and does get better, and the first step is leaving behind these awful things, like this guy and this place. To the hospital, you could have them arrange a ride for you to a different women's shelter than the one with horrible reviews. Please get out, please get help. My heart hurts for you, but I know things can get better. Look, I want to be very careful saying this because there's an order to the priorities here. 1. Leave this relationship. That crap ain't right. 2. Woman's shelter as has been recommended. 3. Therapy if you can afford it. People recommend it here a lot as if everyone can, but of course it won't hurt if it doesn't hurt your wallet. 4. It sounds like you've had a pretty rough time. I'd recommend having support structures. Make friends. Be social, take up hobbies, maybe find a church if that's your thing. I am Christian, but it can help some people. But beyond religion, any organization you can find community in can help, as long as it isn't like a cult. Lol. Maybe it's a charity, music scene, lots of stuff. Am I being unfair? My husband previously worked with a woman who would constantly send him flirty texts. They'd have lunch together every day, and he would constantly talk about her. I explained that she was starting to make me uncomfortable, and he said they were only good friends. He then left his job, and she told him about some contract work that he could do with her. I noticed she was sending flirty messages again, and he said he understood why I felt weird about it, and said the contract was almost up. About a year later, this month, she reaches out to him about another side contract job. I explained I didn't feel comfortable about him working with her again, and after a debate he said he wouldn't take the position if I felt that way. Well, I heard him interviewing and accepting the position the other day, so he lied to me. Despite my feeling upset, he refuses to step away from this project. Am I being unfair, or does him moving forward with this being disrespectful? Thank you. Update: I am blown away by all the responses that I received. Thank you all so much for taking the time to provide your insight, sending me messages, and reaching out via chat. Yesterday we had a back and forth about the situation, and he finally apologized and said he was being selfish and saw this as an opportunity to advance his career without taking my feelings into account, and felt horrible about lying. He sent an email that I drafted to the person that gave him the offer. I made sure I saw the email being sent this time. Although I think that me saying I was uncomfortable should have immediately caused him to back away, and there's no excuse for lying. We seem to be back on track. I told him to text the girl to tell her he's backing out of the project, but he said he wasn't going to engage, and if she reaches out he will respond. Oh, and he read all your responses after I explained that I even made a post on Reddit and received an enormous amount of support. Not even a question in the matter. I'm a guy, and that's straight disrespect. These things don't happen in half an hour. He confirmed his availability for the interview, prepped and accepted, and then thought he'd drop it on Yoj later. Kinda azar. Ask him why his friendship with this woman is more important than your boundaries and feelings. Bet he won't be able to answer that without looking like a complete ass. He will gaslight her. I'm going to be harsh. It sounds like he couldn't give two shits about your boundaries of comfort. And it sounds like he might be doing something more than hanging out. If he really respected you, he wouldn't go there. You're not being unfair. You discussed this with him. You let him have his friendship and let him know when it became a problem. He knew the flirting was making you uncomfortable, so if he wanted to keep the friend he should have let her know she needed to respect the boundary you two have in your relationship. Instead he's gone behind your back and taken a position with this woman. Whether she's actually interested in him or not doesn't matter. This was incredibly disrespectful toward you. Edit: just saw upset it. For future reference, no partnership should require a spouse to drop something immediately the first time it makes them uncomfortable, unless it is actually something that can damage the relationship. Talk things through. Drop anything that makes me uncomfortable. Makes me feel there are other issues he should be bringing up as well. What if were you getting these texts and doing jobs with this guy and he told you he didn't like it and you did it anyway? How would he feel? Ask him that. Tell him this flirty guy from the internet wants to know.